on that topic, we turn now to Aurel Braun. He's a professor of international relations and political science at the University of Toronto. Aurel, good to see you. Of course, great news for Ukraine in terms of seeing this bill pass. What does it mean for Ukraine's fight?
This is a lifeline to Ukraine, and it comes at the 11th hour. When we compare the situation a year ago, when there was a considerable amount of optimism, in the case of Ukraine, that they would have a successful offensive and retake significantly more territory, that did not materialize. The advantage began to shift increasingly to Russia, which has been able to produce vast quantities of artillery. They have been firing artillery at the rate of more than 5-1 to Ukraine. And President Zelensky himself said that the aid that the Europeans are providing, and that's about 50 billion euros, was not sufficient. The United States was the pivotal player, and aid has been largely held up since December, so the Ukrainians have been at a tremendous disadvantage. The situation became increasingly desperate, so this is something that is very welcome news for Ukraine. Now it needs to be delivered, and we have to see how the situation is affected on the ground.
And there's a mobilisation issue as well, isn't there? There's a lot of lethargy on the front lines. You know, they're trying to call up men to fight. Talk a little bit about the political dynamics. Is Ukraine also trying to figure out how much land to secede now? And of course, Kharkiv. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Ukraine has a much smaller population than Russia, so the mobilization potential is significantly less. Obviously, they cannot match the numbers. They have to use superior tactics and superior weapons. They were given some of that by NATO, but not enough, and the pipeline kind of dried up. There is the problem of the Republicans in Congress, and in the House in particular, who have held up this package. And even today, when the vote took place, something like 112 Republicans voted against the package to Ukraine, and only 101 voted in favor of it. So Ukraine needs to have advanced equipment. They need to have more artillery. They need to have longer range weapons. They need to have anti-aircraft and anti-missile defenses. The Russians have made tactical gains at Avdiivka and Chasiv Yar. It doesn't change the strategic picture, but it had the potential to do so. This is why this is help at the 11th hour. Next week, the Senate will take up this bill. It's likely to pass. The president will sign it, but we'll see how much can be transferred, how quickly will affect the situation.
Kharkiv has felt the brunt of this war since the full-scale offensive began. If Kharkiv falls, what would that mean for Ukraine's fight?
That is the second largest city, so it is very crucial to Ukraine economically, and it is also a powerful symbol. If that were to fall, that would be a huge, huge defeat. That would move from the tactical more towards the strategic. Now, at the same time, we need to understand that Russia has made gains, but at the same time, it's also facing obstacles. NATO has been reinvigorated. NATO has been enlarged. Sweden and Finland are part of it. The democratic countries are providing more help to Ukraine. So the strategic picture is far more complicated than the tactical picture, but Kharkiv is a key point. And clearly, the Russians are, at least seemingly, aiming for that. But the success of that operation is very far from certain.
All right, Aurel, we'll leave it there. Really appreciate your time. Aurel Braun for us.
Thank you.